knows I'm a blow.
Get down. Let me clear my throat. Yeah. Oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Cause I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm not gonna get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informant, that information for me. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortune me blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. Cut that game plan. Show out like a drop top, pop out like a tata. I'm telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with pens and needles. So lethal, make Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up. With a snake kiss, get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up. If I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession. Shine a light on my imperfections like a projection. Every struggle and lesson, your issues ain't your oppression. Never got a question, keep pushing me to progression like I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. Yeah.
Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Y'all know it's my favorite day of the week. Why? Because I get to spend these 60 to 90 minutes with you, and you, loving each and every one of you. So thank you for joining on tonight. Welcome to Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on none other than the best, the amazing broadcast channel, The Bravo with Sheila Network. That's right. We are the best that there is. You know, I'm biased, so I'm just saying, y'all. So I'm asking you to do us a favor, do yourself a favor, like, subscribe, and share. Hit that button right now so you don't miss a thing. We've got amazing content, amazing podcasters, just amazing space. And as always, I give honor to the queen bee of the Bravo with Sheila Network. None other than I call her my auntie Bravo. She is in the person of Pastor Sheila Ingram. So we give a big bravo to her as she graciously yields me this captain's chair every single Thursday night so that I can come here and spend some time with you. And I'm grateful. I hope you all had an amazing day. So I see some people are already in the building. I am excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I am. I am really glad about tonight, as I am just about every Thursday night, but it's a little bit more special because I got my sister girls with me tonight. So I want to give a shout out to our number one Bravette. We see you. She is always here, always on time, and ever present in the person of Miss Anae Kenya's in the house. Love you, Anae. She is giving shout out. She is the official greeter. She is just our girl, everything. She's Paulette Harper, who is my amazing guest on today. You're going to meet her in just a moment. And we were expecting to have our sister, prophetess Chaundra Gore, but unfortunately she had something came up and she could not make it. So just ask you to keep her in your prayers. And she is going to be back with us. So we are going to reschedule her to come at another time. But the beautiful thing is that we got the other part of the dynamic collabo visionary duo happening here. So I promise that you're going to get just as much good show on tonight. And then I see my girl Zenja in the house. Hey, sis. Sending you some good love, big love. You know how I feel about you all up in the inside. Such a blessing. And then my brethren, my favorite Canadian Jamaican is in the house. Big up. Two, he is no stranger here. You know, he's one of my favorite people to host with. The elder, the writer, the tax man, the money guy, Elder Gregory Bloomfield. So what's it? What guan, brethren? What guan? Yes, sir. So on tonight, and I don't want to forget to greet all the people who are in the expensive seats in the quiet section up in, up top. So good evening to you guys too. But I want to invite y'all to come on down to the comment section. I promise you it's safe down there. It's gonna be great. I promise you. There's a seat just for you. So come on down, come on down. So I do not want to delay any further. I'm going to bring my special guest to the stage for tonight. And before I do just want to say thank you guys for tuning in last week to the Men's Lounge. It was amazing. If you did not get to see it, go back, watch the replay. I promise you it was some good stuff. And it's just going to get better and better. 2024 is loaded. I'm excited about everything that's going on. So again, like, subscribe, and share so you do not miss a ting and ting. Okay, that's how I want to put it to you tonight. Don't miss a bit. So tonight, it is our Meet the Author segment. I love this segment because, we've gotten away from reading, from getting information. And the Bible says that the people perish for the lack of knowledge. Well, we don't want that to be the case here. So on tonight, on the Meet the Author segment, I am so happy and so proud to bring to the platform my sister girl. I am honored. I am humbled. She is in the person of Dr. Paulette Harper. If you don't know who she is, I promise you will know before the end of the show. And she is awesome. Hey, sis, welcome to the platform. Come on and greet the people on tonight.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Thank you, Lady Dawn, for having me on tonight. I am excited. And Pastor Sheila, nice to meet you as well.
Yes. So I'm excited because, now I see I'm putting my glasses on because I'm getting ready to read some information. I'm not even going to try to be cute today, y'all. Y'all know I'm half blind, so we're not even going to play with it. I'm going to act like I know. We're not going to have no problems. Dr. Paulette, I have to say, I'm so excited about her being here because, unbeknownst to her, whether she maybe really realizes that, she is my sister. She is a sister in heart. She is my sister in spirit, and I thank God for how he just bonded us together. It was like a suddenly. I don't even really know when we had our first conversation. I don't even remember what. I just don't. It's just like she's always been here. But I thank God for her because she has such an amazing spirit. She has such a wonderful heart. She has been a shoulder for me to vent, to cry, to kind of, she's been that big sis. We talk, we laugh, we joke, we pray. But I love that even though we literally have never been in each other's space physically yet, but I love how God binds people together in heart and spirit, and it is amazing. Welcome, Lady Navoa. Thank you for joining on tonight. Yes, ma'am, the authors are in the house, and we are ready to go. Hey, Anitra, we got our Clubhouse fam coming in. Okay. Now, Dr. Paulette and I met on Clubhouse. We are in a lot of the same rooms, and I'm telling you, I just don't even remember how we even got. I don't even know.
No, we just started. It was just like that. We just started.
It was just natural. We just glided, we kind of glided to each other. Yeah. That's what happened, I think. But it's amazing because God will knit you with like-minded people. I didn't know that I needed a Dr. Paulette in my life. I guess I knew I needed a Dr. Paulette in my life, but I didn't know I needed the Dr. Paulette in my life. But what I love about you, and one of the things that I admire from afar, is that you are so graceful, and just the excellence in which you do everything with. And that just exudes off of you, no matter what you're doing, no matter what space you're in. And I am just so excited. So, it was on my heart to invite you before, but actually, I was a little nervous, a little shy about it. I was like, I don't know, because, I said, she be out there doing all these amazing things. I said, I don't know. I might not be on her list yet, but she's so humble and so sweet and just so precious. And so your presence here means oh so much. So I want to thank you for gracing Thursday night with Lady Dawn be with your presence, my big sister. And I love you with everything. I'll stop being mushy now because I'll cry. I cry in a heartbeat. Okay. So come on, y'all, like, subscribe, and share. Sharing is caring, and sharing is power. Because we don't want any of this great information to go untapped. We don't want to be selfish and keep it here. We want to spread it because I promise you, once you start sharing, you're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel better. And if you don't know how to write, I promise you, you're going to find a way to write something. I don't care what it is. If it's 3 sentences and then you're going to turn it into a novel, I guarantee
it. I love it.
So I'm going to read a little bit of her bio just so y'all can get to know who Dr. Paulette is a little bit. And here on the Bravo Show Network, we're just family. We just keep it light and free. We just flow with it. And we just let it do what it do. So Dr. Paulette Harper's debut novel, Secret Places Revealed. Oh, all right, I got to go find that. That sounds good. Not only won the Emma Award for Inspiration and Spiritual Romance, but also captured the heart of readers nationwide. Her nonfiction masterpiece, Completely Whole, y'all, I hope y'all getting this down, secured the Reader's Favorite Award for Best Christian Nonfiction. These accolades speak volumes about her talent and dedication. Beyond her writing prowess, Dr. Harper is the visionary CEO of Harper Media and Coaching Academy. Her expertise extends far beyond the realms of creativity and storytelling. She poses a unique talent for curating compelling anthologies, setting her apart as a true creative trailblazer. But her real passion lies in being a compassionate and dedicated creative story coach, inspiring authors to unlock their full potential. Dr. Paulette Harper is not just an accomplished writer and coach. She is a certified mental health coach, a resilient survivor of emotional trauma, and sought-after speaker featured on CBS, ABC, CBN, NBC, and the Sacramento Observer. Now, if y'all don't know why I'm so honored that she is on this on my platform, on this space tonight, okay, because she does big things in big spaces. And there are so many other accolades that we could give to her. As a self-publishing coach, she imparts her wisdom to emerging authors, teaching them how to tap into their creativity and turn words into compelling stories, enabling them to achieve their dreams of becoming published authors. And I am going to stop there. She is not just a coach, but she also operates in ministry. So Dr. Paulette, my good sister, come on and tell the good people, besides these, okay, I'm gonna start here. How did you get into this space of coaching, of becoming a writing coach?
Yeah, well, once again, thank you so much, Lady Dawn, for having me on. And then those of you who are listening, thank you as well. So, my journey to writing and publishing and becoming a coach actually started with me going through a divorce. That is where the emotional trauma came from. So, a little backstory to that is I was married to a pastor for 23 years, and he was my high school sweetheart. And we ended up getting a divorce. And I met him when I was 14. All right. And I got divorced at 40. So we had a whole lot of history together. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kids, ministry, and all. All right. And so we ended up in a divorce. And I went through the traumatic experiences of dealing with the trauma from that. And a whole gamut of, wanting to kill myself, wanting to end my life, physically, challenges from that. And so, low self-esteem, depression, the whole gamut when it comes to emotional trauma. And so it was a season which was the darkest moment in my life. And so I just knew as a minister, as a pastor, that it wasn't in vain, that the Lord allowed me to go through that. Because he wasn't going to remove it, even though I was like, Paul, can you remove this thorn for me? Because I don't want to be in this wilderness, okay? And he kept saying, "Oh, my grace is sufficient for you. You got to go through it, you know." And so, anyways, being that I knew that it wasn't in vain, and that was something some purpose that God wanted me to bring out of that trauma, my first book got published. It got birthed. You know, that was then. This is now. This Broken Vessel Restored, and I did not know anything about writing books. And so I went in and I found somebody to, publish the book for me. But I soon learned after that, I can just learn how to do it myself. And so my first book got published, and it really chronicles the emotional trauma that I was going through. I talk about my own journey of going through the divorce, being in ministry, what it looked like. I was a pastor's wife, so there was things that I couldn't tell the congregation just because I was a pastor's wife. Okay, and so, anyways,
Right.
from writing that first book, I was at a church, and the people in the church wanted to learn how to write books. There were people who were like, "Oh, you know how to write a book? Can you show me how to write a book?" And so that was really the birthing of it. I didn't go into this thinking about coaching, thinking about teaching anybody else. I was birthed into this. All right. And so they started asking me to, teach them what I know. And so I did. And it started out with one workshop. And that one workshop led to people asking me, "Can you coach me one-on-one?" Okay, I can do that too. So, the journey to get here has really been, God has just really been birthing this as I went along. And it was people pulling that out of me, And so that's how I got here. It was through the trauma, through the pain, but also finding that there was purpose in what I was called to do. In addition to just preaching the word of God, there was marketplace ministry that God was really birthing in me.
This is so good. And thank you for sharing that, because, your background and your journey touches so many other people. We, excuse me, looking at you today, none of us, look like what we've been through.
Right.
And no one would ever know. And when we see people in such a powerful and solid place, oftentimes, a lot of people become jealous or envious of where you are, not knowing literally like the hell that you had to walk.
Come on.
Yeah, and the price that you had to pay,
Yeah.
The pain that you had to go through, like you said, going through divorce. And I've been through divorce, I've been through it twice, and so I get it, that, and whether you like your mate or not, it's still, it's still a death of a thing. It is the death of a dream, just like the marriage is the birth of hope. The divorce is the death of a dream. And you do go through a whole grieving process. It's a whole situation. You're not the only one who has battled with, suicide or suicidal thoughts, that whole issue of just not wanting to be here, and just really wanting whatever it is you're going through to stop, and that's really what it is. And to me, and listening to you, and I know as a writer myself, I found that, writing is healing.
Yeah.
And I think like the workshops that you offered, probably that is probably was such a relief and release, because what we don't want to say out of our mouths, the things that we're afraid to speak, we are able to put down on paper. And you being able to help people pull that in a safe space, because even as a writer, there's certain things that sometimes, even in me just writing my own stuff in my own little notebooks that are just for me, there's still some things that I don't want to write. So as a writer and as a writing coach, let me ask you this. Do you find yourself, have you ever encountered, and maybe you have, I want to word it right, struggling with getting to that that hard place where you don't even want to write it down for yourself, like, and if you have, how did you work through that? How do we get people past that moment of that release?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I know when I wrote my first book, it was actually probably about maybe 2 years after I had gone through the divorce. And so I was at a healed place. I was at a place where I would I could get I had the release to write. Okay. And I wrote it in a place where I had the victory. So I didn't write it where I was bleeding on readers. I didn't write it from a place of being, a victim, but victorious. Okay. And that made a difference because I was at a place where I could write and I could look back on what God had did in my life. And that's one of the things that I was able to do after I wrote my first book. I went back and I read it and I saw the hand of God in all of it. I saw, wow, God, look at what you brought me through to get me to this place that I wrote a book. I wrote a book. All right. And so when I'm coaching, that is one of the things that I have found with my clients, especially those who want to write, in my anthologies. Okay. I find it more in my anthologies because it's just one chapter. Okay.
Jesus.
And so I tell my clients, I tell the authors, when you're working with me, we don't want to write safe stories. We don't want to write stories that when a reader reads it, they say, oh, that was good. No, we want to write stories that's going to really dig into and really hit, the punch for the reader, And so that means that you have to really pull back layers from an author that sometimes they don't want to talk about. It's good. It's surface stuff, but when you coaching with me, when I'm coaching you, we pulling back them layers, okay? Because that's what readers connect with. That's how we connect with them on their level. And so you mentioned about how do we get past that? It is really going deep and realizing, you know what, you can talk about it because you're talking about it from a healed place. And I can read a chapter and I can derive from the fact that, okay, you still have unforgiveness, you still haven't been healed because you're writing from that place. And so I also, when one of my authors, several of them, sent me their chapter, and I'm reading it. I said, "No, this ain't what you're gonna write. This is not it. This ain't it. This ain't it." Because see, I know that there's something else that God allowed you to go through in life, and you want to do surface stuff. You want to do cute stuff. We not doing that in any of my books, okay? And so,
not a thing. It's not a
no,
thing.
exactly. So, and that's one of the things that I think people, they may not like it at the moment, but after they write their chapter and they read it, they be like, oh, yeah, I'm glad that I did that, because I ask a lot. I ask a lot of questions, and I go deeper. I go deeper. You know that I go deeper. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I do, but that's something that God has put in birth within me that I absolutely love to do because that's the creativity that you have in you. And it's my job to pull it out, And so I always tell my clients, you have to write from a place where you're healed, where you're whole, because that is going to really, connect with the reader, being in that place, and just like you connect with them on that level, they can also read if you're still bitter, if you're still in, you're still hurting, and that's not what you want to do when you're an author.
Right. No, that was good. And I definitely can attest to the fact that Dr. Paulette Harper, as a writing coach, she is going to pull out of you, okay, what is there. You cannot write safe. You cannot stay at the shore. We don't do shore things with Dr. Paulette. We don't do the shore SHORE. We do the shore SURE, but not the we don't tread water here. I've had the amazing experience of writing with her recently, and we'll get into that book as well. But it is amazing what you do, and like having experienced it. On one of your other projects, I think it was a project before this one. I was so tempted, and I told you, I was tempted to be a part of it, and I went and I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And it's not my first go round, writing with you is book number 6 for me. So it wasn't that it was new for me, but the thing was, like you said, writing from a healed place, and I had learned how to do that.
Yeah.
But now it was taking my story and my experience. Now it's getting beyond the story, and it is now that whole cultivating process.
Yeah.
Because what I find in writing, like it's not just you writing your story. This experience is cultivating you, and it's
Yeah.
empowering you, and it's freeing you. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for Dr. Paulette because I know she is no nonsense. I was like, I'm not ready for you yet, sis. So you remember I told you that I was like, I'm not ready. I was like, I'm gonna catch up with you, but I'm not ready right now. Everybody, come on and like, subscribe, and share this great conversation we are having with Dr. Paulette Harper. She is a writing coach. She is a pastor. She is just amazing. She is so many things. She is the one who will get out of you what is in you, whether you want to or not. She is going to help you, but she holds your hand through it all. And we talked about the divorce and ministry. What I loved about what you're talking about writing from a healed place, is how God will take your story and turn it into ministry. God
Yeah.
takes the things that we're going through, so it's never in vain and nothing is
Yeah.
wasted. And being in that place of not even understanding why you were going through what you're going through, like you said, you didn't imagine that
Yeah.
it would turn into this.
Yeah.
Look at you now, you're here. And how many personal books have you written on your own, like your own?
Yeah. So I have 5 or 6 personal books, and then the rest of my books are anthologies.
Okay. Okay, because we got we got her information, and it's gonna be going. So I'm suggesting that y'all make sure that you reach out and you get her books and information. Um, you have 5 or 6. Now let's talk about this anthology. Oh, there she go. All right, so read them off. Read them off. Read off your personal titles so that people can get a feel for what they're about to encounter with you. Read them off for us.
Well, this is my first book, but I have a different cover now. If you go on Amazon, so this is That Was Then, This Is Now, This Broken Vessel Restored. So this is about the going through the divorce.
Okay.
That one there, and
So
then
if you're going through a divorce or experienced it, that's the book to go get.
yes, yes, and then my second book, solo book, is called Completely Whole. Because hey, I went through the divorce. Hey, now I'm completely whole. All right, so it's completely whole, and
So
then I
that's
have
the after divorce. That's the after divorce book.
that's after, that's
After
after
you get her first book, you follow up with part 2 because now you whole and you need to know what to do as you whole. See, I'm
yes,
helping
yes,
the people. I'm helping you help the people.
And then I have my novel, which is Secret Places Revealed as well. So it's a Christian fiction novel. So you definitely have to get that. I don't know what I did with the copy, but for those of you who like to color,
Yes, I was about to go. Oh, hold on. Let me, because we gonna be twinning. We can be twinning because
okay, we twinning right now.
we twinning.
That's it. Yeah, the scripture and color. Relax, unwind, and breathe. This is full of scriptures, and so you like to color, grab that. And then actually on Tuesday, I am releasing another solo book called Unlock the Writer: How to Launch, How to Write, Publish, and Launch Your Nonfiction Book in 90 Days. So this is my system, my methodology on how you go about writing your book, and this is also the way that I coach.
Okay.
Tuesday, I'm dropping it on Tuesday.
Come on Tuesday. Tuesday might have to be my favorite day of the week next week because
And then the rest of them are my anthologies.
Okay. And it's so important. And I'm thanking you for sharing your titles because people need to see and understand that this is not just talk. She is one who has products, who has produced, and not just one, but this is her life's part of her life's mission, her purpose, and what she does, so that you know that you're in good hands, whether it's that you're reading something that she's produced, written and produced, or you want to become a writer, you want guidance, you know that you're dealing with someone who has that experience, who's walked the walk, not just read about it and then, just tagged on some stuff. No, she's telling you from her experience and has lots of product to back it up. So I suggest that I'm telling you, Dr. Paulette, she's somebody you want to know her, you want to hook up, you want to make that connection. And I love how, again, the pain that you went through it turned into a business. God turned it
Yeah.
into a business as well as ministry, because what you're
Yeah.
doing is really ministering to the people that you're serving.
Yeah.
And we don't
Yeah.
really see it that way. Now, does your role as pastor, your pastoring, how does that, how do the two kind of meet? Do you find yourself like ministering, in a different way, not so much like we do it in the pulpit, but making that connection between the ministry and the marketplace to help the people? What's that experience like for you?
Yeah. So, for me, it is when it comes to, ministering the word, that's a number one thing for me. Okay. Because I know that is my call I know that's my call. All right. And so, when it comes to marketplace ministry, it's being okay to write my story and Jesus be all in it. Okay. He be all
Yes,
in it.
ma'am.
All right. And so for me, when I am probably about 100%, I don't think I've ever had, I won't say that. I'll say about 98% of my clients, especially in my
Mhm.
anthologies, most of them are believers. Okay. And so these are the kind of stories that we're going to write. And so when it comes to marketplace ministry, it's being okay with putting together my faith, my belief in what I do and how I serve. Okay. And
That's
so I
good.
think it makes it a little bit easier for people who are in ministry to be okay with sharing their own story, no matter how emotional that story is, no matter how gratifying that story is, no matter how painful that story could be. But finding that God is first of all, he was the first publisher.
Come on now.
He was
Come
the
on.
first writer, the first publisher who wrote stories about all of the people of God who did not have it all together. They had some stuff,
Say it again. It didn't what?
okay? They
Did
did
not
not have
have
it
it all
together.
together.
They did not, okay? But he used them to deliver a message, all right? And so this is what I do when it comes to, me coaching and then me bringing, ministry into the marketplace.
I think that is amazing. I love what you said, just being able to tell our stories comfortably and understanding that every ministry moment is not necessarily in the pulpit.
Right.
There's practical. We have that opportunity every single day.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be in quoting a scripture, but it's living it out.
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
been in customer service for over 30, 35 years or whatever. And one of the things that we have is people may not always remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
keep that in mind every day. And I think that, it also transcends over even into this space, into what you're referring to. People may not ever remember everything that you say to them, but they will remember how you made them feel through this process and this journey of writing and becoming an author, because it is birthing. It is really birthing. Zen just says, all right, now you better write, ma'am. And she is one.
Bless her. She was in one of my books.
Yes, ma'am. And they said, after hearing your bio, and Nate, this was just a piece. Those are a few pieces of her bio. She said, I still need to update my resume after that. Yes, ma'am. You better be calm. We are here with the amazing, the one and the only Dr. Paulette Harper, writing coach, my sister girl, my godsend, I will say, and my dear friend. And we are talking about the experience of writing. She has 5 personal books and a host of anthologies that she has coached, put together, coordinated. She's an amazing visionary, and I again have the pleasure of writing with her this go round, and it has been quite tumultuous, not because of her, but just because my life has been lifing. But she is definitely a coach, because the amount of patience, just to cue y'all in, I'm gonna share a little bit because it's family. So my computer decided it did not want to work. It decided it wanted to do its own thing, and it blacked out. It would not let me get into my stuff. I could not even find my writing. So I had to start all over again. And it went a whole nother direction from what I did. I said, God, you gotta be kidding me. I said, this is the devil. I was like, okay, but we're not giving him no credit. So we're just gonna say technology is just technology in today.
Right.
And everything, every time, and she can attest to it. I think if some point, if she had not witnessed it for herself, she'd have been like, listen, this girl ain't ready to write. Because at a certain point, it was like, okay, this is not you. Like, it's not you. There's some forces that work here that are trying not to get this message out. Whatever it is I had to say, I said, well, God, what is it that I had to say that is causing such a ruckus? But through that, she has been so patient and so gracious and just so kind. And when you're writing, it is, and again, this is not my first go round, so I understand deadlines and time frames and all of that, because you either going to hold up the project or you just going to not be in the project. It's one or the other. It's on the so right grace. Right. Like, what you say this story, we'll do a newsletter for you or something, but she is amazing. I'm saying that to say that safe space with someone who can walk you through, because there were points when I was like, you know what, I'm just like, look, y'all just run on without me. But she was encouraging. She didn't allow me to quit. I stayed in the ship, stayed on board, and we are getting there. And for that, I'm grateful. So I want to ask you, and maybe you'll read us a piece from one of your books, if you feel like gracing us with a little something from one of them, that would be amazing. But I want to ask you about the anthology process. So how does that work? Like, what is your secret, if you would, not really a secret, but what is your process behind creating the anthology? Because you have so many authors that are coming together and dealing with so many individual personalities and issues and all of that. And I know this is also probably where part of the pastoring piece comes in, because you're able to be one thing to many people in order to serve everyone. But what is that process like for you? Like, how do you start? Where does it come from?
Yeah, so for me, being the visionary, it always comes from, me, a title. What title do I want the book to be? Okay. And then from the title, it is, okay, what is the book what is the synopsis of the book, the blurb of the book? What is it going to be about? And once I get that, then, I can go and do an author call and see if anyone wants to be part of it. And I have just been so, probably about the last 7 years, that's pretty much, other than my one-on-one clients, that's pretty much what I've been doing these last, 7 or so years, is doing anthologies. And so I've been able to do at least maybe 2 a year, something like that. And so, so with that, finding the authors who want to be part of it, making sure that their story matches what the vision is of the book. I can probably write another story on the things, I've experienced in this process,
That's a whole book by itself.
Yeah. What I've experienced with people,
The story behind the story.
There's a story behind getting all these stories. Yes. And so, just making sure that the author really, his story, really does mesh with the vision of the book. And I have, told people, okay, your story can't go in my book because it doesn't. example, I had somebody who wanted to write a story. My stories are not, even though they're faith driven, we're not going to write a Bible story in my books. Okay. And so this person wanted to write a Bible story. And I said, no, we want to hear about your story. Okay, that's Joseph's story. Okay.
Right. You're not Joseph today.
Okay, we want to hear about your story. We want to hear your experience, and they didn't want to change their story. And I said, well, you're not going to put, it can't go in my book, so those are some of the things, but finding the right authors, and then, those who say, hey, I want to do it, just making sure that, it aligns with the vision, and then just taking them through that process of what it looks like. It's about a 4-month process with me. One of the things that I do is, there are 2 types of visionary authors. For those of you who are deciding to be in an anthology, there's 2 types of visionary authors. There are one who you send them your chapter, and then you may not see them, may not talk to them ever again until, the chapter is done, But for me, I like hands-on stuff, and so you send me your chapter, I'm going to read it. Okay, I'm going to read it. And so one of my authors, this past book with her Unbreakable Spirit, and she'll tell you, Dr. Paulette sent my chapter back twice and told me to rewrite it. And I did. I did.
See, there goes that we not playing it safe. We not on the shore that we did. No, she going to get out of you what's in you. She going to get it out. You ain't even got a hint. You ain't got to let her know. She sees it already. So don't save yourself. Just tell the story right the first time. Save yourself.
Yeah. But one thing that I do is I do offer a one-on-one coaching session with all of my authors, because if they're a first-time author, I know it can be kind of scary and daunting for them to write a chapter, especially they're challenged with the word count, and they're challenged with which story do I write? Because we have a lot of experiences. So I do offer a one-on-one for people who want to, so I can filter out a lot of those ideas and help them at least get a jump start on their stories.
No, and that's good. And it's true, because even I found in this experience, it was funny because what I ended up really giving to you at the end, it was not what I started with. It wasn't even what we discussed in our one-on-one, and and I said, okay, God, was that the whole point of why my computer would not yield? Like, is this where you were trying to get me to? Like, is that what it was? But even in that, just, you made it so comfortable. And I found that no matter how many times I'm writing, each time it is just as nerve-wracking. It is just as, it puts me in the vulnerable space. And, really being even writing from a healed place, it's still vulnerable. Because I'm sharing.
Yeah, it really is. But my job as a coach is to pull it out of you, because I know that it's there. And so when we're writing our stories, it's really about what's in it for the reader. Yeah, it's our stories. We write it. It's our own experiences, but we want someone that's going to read it to be able to say, wow, she talking to me. He talking to me. He done read. I mean, one thing that it's almost like when you're watching a show and you don't like characters. Okay, you can read a fiction novel, and the characters in there get on your nerves. You and they're having a conversation with them. You tell them you don't like them. Yeah, you're going through that whole conversation with people that's in the book.
Right. Like, as if they're there.
As if they're there. And that's good writing, because you are invoking emotions out of people. And that is good. And this is what I want my clients and the authors, when they're working with me, I want you to invoke emotions out of them. I want people to read and say, oh, she hopping all in my business. Why are you talking to me like that? When you can do that, you can transform a life. And those are the kind of stories that I want in my books.
And that is so key. And that is true. And I do love that. when you can hit that emotion. I mean,
Mhm.
we can all relate to, like you said, when you're watching a movie and you sitting there, yelling at the screen and all that, and you're going through and your heart is beating out your chest like, girl, don't go behind that door. So right. And you want people to be so engrossed in your book and your
Yeah.
writing, because that in itself is a point. And again, it does bring it all back to that place kind of ministry.
Yeah.
Like you said, when you can evoke that emotion out
Yeah.
of someone, and your writing helps people to tap into it, makes it safe for people to
Yeah.
tap into that space in them that they may not want to, because you went first. And we think that we're just riding the wave along with somebody, with the writer, like, oh, that's their experience, but it's yours too. Because if
Mhm.
it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to relate. So
Yeah.
you being able to cultivate that, pull that out of people, and then cultivate it is the gift, because everybody can't do that. Everybody
Yeah.
just can't do that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how many, like, subscribe, and share, guys? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting because I'm so into my sister and our conversation, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. But like, subscribe, and share. We are here with Dr. Paulette Harper, my sister girl. She is a writing coach like none other, as well as an author herself, as well as so many other things I'm going to ask her about in a minute. But I want to ask you, out of your 5 personal books, do you have a favorite? And if so, which one and why?
Yeah. I think it's my novel, Secret Places Revealed. And because it was my first fiction novel. It is an award-winning novel. And when I wrote it, I wanted to write something that I could put myself into a story,
Mhm.
okay, in a way it made it fiction. So when I started to write, and I had no idea about writing fiction. I started writing nonfiction, so I wanted to write a fiction, and God dropped the story in me, okay, and so it's a safe fiction novel, nonfiction, Christian fiction novel. So it became real to me and real important to me to write it because I wanted to write a story about 2 people who had flaws, who had a whole lot of baggage, but they
Mhm.
wanted to come together in love. Okay. And so
My Lord.
the story is Lacey, who is in New York City, and she needs to
Okay.
change. Okay. And then there is the male character. And one of the things that God did in this was the cover. I don't know, I wish I had it so you guys could see the cover. So on the cover is this male model. And you know how we get stock photo,
Mhm.
okay? And so you do a stock photo cover. Well, this was a live model. This was a real person. And I met him on Facebook. His name is AC Brown. And so how that came about was the cover designer put together the cover, and he had his stuff on the stock photo. And so one day somebody put my cover on Facebook and he saw his face. And so I see all these comments coming through about this motto, and I'm like, what? And so I introduced myself. I'm the author. I said, hey, I'm the author of this novel. He said, I'm the face of your book. It was mind-boggling. It was so God. It was just so God.
Look at the ruckus that you both caused unknowingly. That's one way to meet. If you got to meet, that's one way to.
It was all God. And so we developed this really great relationship with one another, and I was able to interview him. All right.
Nice.
So his
Nice.
character in the novel is really some real genuine characteristics about this author. I mean, about the
I
model,
love that.
So that's why I really love that novel, because you know what? God can give you an idea, and he can blow on that idea, and you're just writing just because you feel like you're inspired and whatnot, but God has
Mhm.
a bigger plan for it. He has something greater than just penning a book, and so that book, Secret Places Revealed, please grab a copy of it, because that really opened up a door for me, because it became an award-winning novel. And it was me launching myself into the world of fiction, and so I have a couple of other, fiction short stories as well, but Secret Places Revealed.
That is it. And the story behind the story. See, that's a whole nother book, whole nother story by itself, is the story behind the story. But I could see why that would be your favorite. And also being your first. I found that the first is always special, the most special. I think for me, it was when I wrote my first one. It was special to me because I was able to finally put my words to paper and then see them. And terrified as I was, and people would not think that I'm terrified because I'm outspoken, but because it's so private and so personal. And it's like, if I say something to somebody, and I think this is really good and key with writing, if I say something to you, you'll remember it. But over time, you may not remember it exactly how I said it. And you may not remember, my exact words. You may not remember because, we forget because our minds start to go. But baby, when you write it, that black and white don't change. It don't change. It is here for eternity.
Yes.
So I understand that special moment of having that one special, that first, that real, real special first. And that's amazing. Now you have anthologies also where you are pulling people together to write. If you had a favorite anthology, which one would that be and why?
Yes, I would. The Breaking Point. The Breaking Point.
Beautiful.
All right. Now, there's a story behind this book. I can cry because of just the doors and the connections that God put in my life. Okay. So one of the things that I love to do when I'm doing anthologies is to really give my authors exposure and visibility for, their stories. And so we were on a show. We were on the Kim Jacobs show. And so I did not know she was really good, tight friends with the Les Brown.
Okay.
The Les Brown. Okay.
The Les Brown.
The Les Brown, the motivator himself. All right. So we were on her show. And so she says to me, she said, Paulette, hold on. I'm talking to Les Brown. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm okay. It's nothing, okay. You're talking to Les Brown. Okay. I don't, okay.
Not knowing, because she didn't say the. She didn't say the.
So I said, okay. And so they're having this conversation. So she tells them, okay, I gotta, I'm gonna get off. I have, some authors, Dr. Paulette. At that time, I was Pastor Paulette. She's on, and her authors are here to talk about the breaking point. So he comes on and he says, Dr. Paulette, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm having this conversation with the Les Brown on her show. We're not live yet. But I'm having this conversation with the Les Brown. He said, Dr. Paulette, you have a book coming out called The Breaking Point. He said, I'm going to endorse it. And he goes off and talks about how he's going to endorse this book for us. All right.
Big God. Come on, big God.
Oh, my God. And so, me and him are having this conversation like we good friends, I mean, he is just like that as an author, a speaker, a motivator. He's just talking, and so at this time, the authors are starting to come on now. And they have no clue that I'm on the phone talking to Les Brown. So now they're coming on and they're like, well, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I said, I'm talking to Les Brown. I'm talking to Les Brown. And they're like, what? It was amazing. It was so amazing. And so anyway, so all the authors, are starting to get on and they catching on, and they're like, what? Did he just say he's going to endorse the book? I said, yeah, he just said he's going to endorse the book. He just said it, And honey, you go to Amazon and you find The Breaking Point, the first thing you're going to see is the Les Brown endorsement of our book. All right. And so we did a press release. And it said the breaking point, Les Brown endorses new book by award-winning author Paulette Harper. And I told my authors, I said, yeah. I told my authors, I said, when you are wanting to be on podcasts and on different shows, just lead with Les. You ain't got to say nothing else. Les Brown endorsed my book. Les Brown endorsed our book. Les Brown endorsed our book. And you talking about doors swung open for these authors. They were in different newspapers. They were making they did on tour. And I said, just use his name and send people to, Amazon so people can see his endorsement for us. And Hunty. Honey.
Yes, ma'am.
Honey, let me tell you, I tell the authors, I said, look, I don't know what God gonna do in this. I just know, come and join me on this journey. I don't know what door he gonna open up, but I just know that I put myself in the position and I bring the authors along with me. And whatever door God opens up for me, it's for all y'all too.
Amen.
Oh, it was a Les Brown moment that I will never, ever forget. And you know what? Those authors will never forget it either. That is always sketched into their mind that Les Brown endorsed our book.
See, look at God. Look at big, come through, big God, come through. And they said, just as you were saying, it was awesome. And they said, this is so awesome. See, y'all see why I'm so excited and humbled that the Paulette Harper is on Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. She is not just an Amazon award noted, but the Les Brown endorsed. Okay, yes. So understand that if you want to write, if you need to write, if you're interested in writing, if you know 2 words and 2 sentences and you want to become a writer, she is the girl. This is the lady. This is the connect. Get with her. Again, it's because, when you position yourself and you get to where you need to be, I always say we feel so much weight in what we go through as we are trying to become. It's because it's not just for you. What we go through is not for us. Yeah. It's because we are carrying the weight of those who are coming behind us, those who are coming to our lives. Yeah. So when we are going through and it's heavy and the heat and the pressure is on, know that it is not, you didn't do anything wrong. You're just positioning yourself. And that's why you can't quit. You can't say no. If you had said no, if you had allowed life's, the vicissitudes of life and the things that happen to you to push you into a hole or to hold you hostage or to keep you back, we wouldn't be here having this conversation tonight, and all the other people that you have helped that have, taken by the hand and walked them through this journey of becoming. Yeah. Because in writing, we are constantly becoming. Yeah. And to get to that place where, like you said, lead with Les Brown. Like, listen, I'm about to lead with Les Brown. And I ain't even in the book. My sister, get her book, Breaking Point, is endorsed by the Les Brown, But I think that is just so amazing. But, again, I just say that to say, make sure you keep positioning yourself to do great things, because those who are going along with you, we all grow and go together. Yeah. And I think that is so, so awesome. Kudos to you, sis.
Thank you.
Is there any anthology that what hasn't been awarded with? What hasn't been in Amazon? Every time I see you put a book up and start a writing project, the next thing I see is this, award-winning Amazon best-selling, going top 10 or number 1 within like 32 minutes and things like. I'm telling you, she's just phenomenal, y'all. She's phenomenal.
Oh my God. I absolutely just love how God just changes a story, and so, being number 1, that I know that a lot of authors have been bestsellers, and my goal is to make you, a number 1 bestseller in multiple categories, That's always my goal. And when the authors can catch that vision, then I know it's going to happen that way. All right. And so my anthologies, all of them actually, have been number one best-selling books in between 4 and 9 categories. And so only God can do that, and I'm not the only visionary author who has those kind of results. I want, people to know that I'm not. But I just know that that is a goal for me with my authors, and they want that goal as well. And then when they can be that, own that, and then get the sticker to go on the book.
That sticker means something, y'all.
Hey, the sticker mean a whole lot. It means
like, we used to be excited in elementary school. You got the gold sticker, for being.
The sticker mean everything.
Come on.
The sticker mean everything.
Back to childhood. Come on.
Come on, that's your proof. That's your proof. So, but yeah, honey, come on now. Don't mess with me. I got receipts.
Listen, right. You got those in the receipts. I'll be wearing it on my forehead. It'll be on my purse. It'll be on my car. Because it is an amazing accomplishment and it's got to feel great. And yes, I love that you're humble and you share that the spotlight, saying that there are other visionaries who have that result. But, who's for you is for you. Who God assigned to your life is for you. And I love that, you made the statement that you inviting them to go on this journey with you. Because even as you are the visionary, again, I can't get away from this word of becoming. You are evolving. And I think the people who write with you also help to pull out of you, push you, it's maybe what a degree of what helps keep you going. Because I'm sure it's tiring and frustrating. And I'm sure that there's some experience you're like, this is the last one I'm doing. I ain't doing this no more. I could just write for me. I'm just saying, we just keep it real. We just keep it like there are times because people be peopling.
Okay.
But there's always that moment of refreshing.
Yeah.
That when you start seeing the results of your hard work, and I know it has to be like the proud mama moment, watching your authors from the beginning of that journey to this now amazing finished product, and then getting that sticker, along with all the other amazing moments and opportunities that come along with that. So kudos to you guys. I'm telling you, if you want to get in and become a part of this writing journey, connect with my sister girl, can't say it enough, the Dr. Paulette Harper. She will get you where you want to go. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to know anything. All you have to know is that you have a thought, an idea, or a desire, and she will walk you through and help you navigate the journey until you can do what? Get that gold sticker on
Come
your
on now. Come on.
All right, she got what? She got receipts. We do results here, okay? Result-driven ministry here. It's a results-driven place. So like, subscribe, and share. Continue to get her. We want to support her. Make sure that you go on Amazon, purchase her books. I promise you, I'm telling you, where did I put I see I'm passing it by. I bought this book, and I think I bought like 10 of them or something because I needed to reconnect with my girlfriends. Everybody's so busy doing everything that they, and believe it or not, we still ain't set the date yet.
I'll still be available.
Still waiting.
Okay.
And I said, I needed to reconnect with my girls, our core, because we get so busy in life. And and I do encourage you. And I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do, we support and we spend our money in so many other places. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, I need that for myself. And I thought about it. It's scripture based. So, you're getting the word in coloring and painting. It is so therapeutic. It is relaxing. It made me want to go out and buy the big, 120 Crayola crayon box. the sharpener on the back, like we have when we was kids, and go and just sit down and color. We should never lose that, when we were kids. And that's what it was, such a precious moment. And honestly, when I saw this and when you shared it with me, and that's what I thought about, I remembered how I felt, doing it. And I was like, man, I need that kind of moment again just to escape.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys can see, really clearly, but this is what some of the pages look like. And Dr. Paulette offered at that time, and we're still going to do it. And I told her what I was doing. And when we get together, she's going to come and, we're going to host a moment and walk us through the book. Again, another ministry moment.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be therapeutic for so many of us. We don't know what's going to come out of this. We don't know what's going to be, I'm going to have the Kleenex close by because I'm not sure. It might tap into something that in a kid. But I encourage you all today to get her. She is amazing. God is doing amazing things in her and through her. And I am so grateful. Also, Dr. Paulette, not only is she an author, a coach, a pastor, but she is also the dynamic TV host of Now Faith Is TV, which airs on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, all smart TVs, Amazon Kindle, Google Play, and more. And more, guys. Listen, she ain't just nobody. She is somebody, okay? She is somebody.
Let me share this.
Yes, ma'am.
And only because I just want somebody to know how God can just change your life. This started from trauma. This started out from the divorce. All right. And you talked about, what if I had said no to God about sharing my story? I would not be here. Okay. So I had to make myself vulnerable. And God, where the word says all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. And so a seed was deposited within me of hope to know that, okay, I've gone through this divorce, I've gone through the trauma, and now God, you birthed this out of me. All of this was in me. I just did not know it. We have gifts and talents in us that will only be birthed through pain. That's just life. That is just life.
Say that again. Say that again.
There are gifts and talents that can only be birthed through pain. I had no idea that I had all of these words in me until I started writing. And so I just want to tell anybody who's watching that God can take your mess. He can take your flaws. He can take all the things that have happened in your life, all the disappointment, all the discouragement, all the people that left you, all the people that dropped you, all the people that divorced you, all of that stuff. And if you stay the course and just believe that somehow God is going to make it good for you and he's going to get the glory.
Come on.
Hallelujah.
Come
He's
on.
going to get the glory in your life. He's going to get the glory some kind of way. God going to get the glory.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you talk about, when you held up the coloring book, it was just an idea. Every story is just an idea. But I've allowed God to take the idea and breathe on it, and then
come on,
they get produced. Okay. So I've just been trying to be obedient to God and not be selfish about my gift, to bring people with me on this journey so that they too can know that, you know what, no matter what I've gone through in life, that God has another chapter. Hallelujah. Yes. God has another chapter for your life.
On, sis.
He has another story for you to write. It does not have to be the narrative, how the statistics say. It doesn't have to be that way. God can turn it around in a moment. And that is what he has done. And I can look back and I can, honey, you can't tell me what
Come
the Lord has not
Come
done.
on.
You can't tell me. You cannot tell me what God has not done in my life. You can't tell me. I could not have done this without the Lord. But it took the trauma and the pain to get me here. And oh God, if he would have just, he already knew. Oh no, you still on the potter's wheel, girl. You still got some work that needs to be done before I can release you to write.
My God.
But God,
But God. What Claiborne always say, don't tell me what God can't do.
honey, don't tell me. You can't convince me, honey, because I got evidence, honey. I got over probably 1,000,000 words that I wrote.
Come on. I got receipts that what you said, God has another chapter for your life. This is not it. This is not the end. It might be a period on the end of it, but there's another chapter behind this. You just got to get through this chapter.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, the glory is coming. I firmly believe, and I used to say this all the time, that God is going to do whatever's going to get the most glory out of your life.
Yeah.
Whatever's going to get him the most glory, that's what he's going to do, because that's what he wants to. That's really what we sign up for. You know, it's for God to use us to shine a light towards him.
We just don't know how he going to do it. We just don't know the way he going to do it. You know, he's not going to give us all the blueprint. He's not. He told Abraham, just go. When you get there, I'll let you know.
Listen.
When you get there, you'll know.
Don't start, because we'll be preaching. Don't start. We'll be preaching. Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. That is my story, right? Get out from amongst and go to a place where I send you. You don't need to know. You just need to know I'm there and I'm sending you. And you know what? When we have that confidence and that comfort in God, we are able to do all things, you know, and we become unconquerable, you know, and you are such an amazing example of that, you know, and I'm so glad that we got you on to share, you know, your story on tonight. I'm telling y'all, I told you, if you don't know who she is not a nobody. She's somebody that you would want to know, y'all. Listen, everyone has a story to tell, and never think that your story is not worth telling. You know, I found that we tend to compare. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
You might not be called to 10,000 people, but you might be called to the 3 people that you pass on the corner every day. You know, you might not be called to, you know, a stadium full of people, but you might be called to the person who, you know, when you stop to get your coffee every day. That might be the person, that one person. And the thing is, when you minister to that one person, you don't know what that seed is going to grow in them and become in the lives that they're going to touch. You know, like you said, we don't know the way, but we just have to know that God is the way and trust that, you know. Sis, you have inspired my whole heart, as you always do. I promise you, you have. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing on tonight. And I want to give you last words, but I want to, because I'll be on here with you all night. What I want you to share, tell us about your current anthology, which I'm very proud to be part of.
Yes, you are.
That, and also you have a collaborative project, I want to say, going on, a collaborative experience. Yes. So I want you to share those 2 things, and you know, give us some final words on tonight. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining in. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is the Dr. Paulette. She's going to give you her handles. It's down on scrolling, www.pauletteharper.com. You can reach her there. I promise you guys, go follow her. Tell the people how to find you, all the places you can. But come on and share with us about your current anthology, your collaborative project, and to give us some final words.
Yes, most definitely. So my current project, which Dawn is one of the co-authors, it's called The Courage to Win, Defining All Odds. And so that is actually going to be released in March, and really looking forward to sharing these amazing stories. There are a couple of men inside this book as well.
Testosterone, come through.
Yes, there's a couple of men who are sharing their stories. So like I said, that's going to be releasing in March. So definitely look for that as well. And then I am in collaboration with Prophetess Gore, Chaundra Gore, with the 2024 Kyle Woman Experience.
Come
Yes,
on.
God.
Come on.
Yes. So the Kyle Woman derives from Proverbs 31. And so we are taking a passage or a verse from Proverbs 31, and we're bringing those stories to life. So each of these authors are writing a particular verse from Proverbs 31. And so the call was for 18 women to join us on this uh, two-phase project. First is the anthology, and then in October we're headed to the mansion. We headed to the mansion, y'all. We're going to a mansion. If you ain't never been to a mansion, come on, come on, come on. So it is the anthology project is phase one, and then phase two is the mansion experience. And so we have 3 spots still open.
Come on.
Those of you, 3 spots still open for those of you who want, 3. For those ladies only who want to be part of this amazing, amazing opportunity, you get to work with me for the book project. And then we're going to launch that book in July. We're going to launch the book in July. The book is called Becoming the Kyle Woman. Becoming the Kyle Woman. And then we're going to kick it off. Yes. And then we're going to kick it off in October, when we're all going to meet in October and do this mansion escape experience, 5 days, 4 nights in this beautiful mansion. It's the transformation that the women are going to walk away with, one, from the book project, because there's women in there who's never written a book before. So these are some first timers as well. And so the transformation from that, because I stretch you.
Lord Jesus.
So that part, and then the mansion experience is going to be so amazing as well. And so you can connect with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Dr. Paulette Harper, also known as Pastor P. I'm on IG, Clubhouse, Dr. Paulette Harper as well. And of course, my website, pauletteharper.com. As I mentioned earlier, I am releasing a book on Tuesday called Unlock the Writer. I'm looking forward to being able to service, aspiring authors. May the 2nd through the 4th, I am doing a virtual speaking summit called, oh my God, why am I getting totally blank on my own summit?
Because you're doing so much. You get to get played as full. That's why.
Faith Business, there it is. Faith Business, thank you, Holy Spirit. Faith Business Success Summit, Navigating Life and Business God's Way. So that's a virtual event, May the 2nd through the 4th. So there's a call for speakers. If you are a speaker, you want to be on that platform, come on. Speak your message. You have the opportunity to do that as well.
I'm trying to get my courage up for that.
Oh, you got it. You got
it. As you see, guys, Dr. Paulette Harper is a wealth of information. She is a jewel and a gem in the kingdom as well as in the natural realm here on earth. Just an amazing resource that you will definitely grow from. And guess what? I know, and I said this, I've said this before. When I leave here, I want to leave empty.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave full. I don't want to have, my words still stuck in my heart. Yeah. I don't want to know that I have not left my footprint as I should have for someone else to step in, even if you don't follow my whole path. I just need you to see that it's possible to leave your mark on the earth. Yeah. And Dr. Paulette is one who can help you get there. Don't ever think that your voice is not valuable. Don't ever think that your words don't have weight and are not worthy of being heard. And if you do feel that way, she is the one for you. She is a safe space that will hold you and care for you through this journey of becoming. And she will be able to push you and pull you to get you where you need to. She's going to take you through the stretch, but I promise you it is worth it. It is a blessing, and you will be the better for it. Once you get through that first stretch, I promise you it is addictive, because you're going to love how you feel on the other side of this process. Blessings to you, Pastor Chris, aka the Psalmist Voice. Thank you for tuning in. It is amazing. I want to thank you so much, sis, for coming on. We got to have you back to talk some more, so we can get in depth about your books, so we can get in depth about your journey, so we can get in depth, because you're also a mental health coach, and we want you to share and help us to help heal each other even all the more. It is so important. And I just thank you for your time. I thank you for your pour. I'm telling you, y'all better listen, blow up her website. Okay. She said that book is coming out on Tuesday. You best to go get it. All right. Go to her website, and she has other amazing things. She has mugs, she has cups, she has bag. I'm telling, if you ever see I think on my Facebook profile. Okay. I'm telling, I'm sharing, I'm telling. Okay, because this thing just brought me so much joy. It was a time when I needed a burst of joy, and she gave it to me. But if you see on my Facebook, in my profile, where it has my name in the background, she created that for me. And it says Dawn, and it just so apropos. It just speaks to. It was reflective of me. I saw it and saw me, and I was just like, oh my goodness, and I love it. And this is part of what she does. So, again, the receipts are there, y'all. It's proven. It's proven. You ain't got to worry. You ain't got to wonder. You ain't got to, be a little leery about what you're getting into. What you're getting into is some good stuff that's going to stretch you. It's going to grow you. It's going to make you. It's going to empower you. It's going to inspire you. It's going to get you going to make sure that you get to your expected end that God has for you. So thank you, Dr. Paulette, my sister girl. Hang out for a minute, guys. Thank you all for joining again for another amazing Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I want to invite you all to come back. February is going to be a dope month. I promise y'all. Let me just tell you real quick. The whole theme for February, we did a versus a couple of months ago, the ladies' room versus the men's lounge set. And our theme for February is When Loved Right. So we're going to have the ladies' room coming on next Thursday at 7 p.m. to what? When Loved Right, Women Glow, when we are loved right. Then the following Thursday, we got the Redeeming Me series, When Loved Right. We're going to talk about self-love. Then after that, we got the men's lounge coming on, who is hosted my amazing male co-host, Pastor Chris, the Psalmist Voice. He is going to be on with the fellas and myself talking about When Loved Right, Men Grow. And then on the 22nd, we're going to mix it up. I'm telling you, February is hot, y'all. It's hot. You don't want to miss not a Thursday, because we talking about when we are loved right. On the 22nd, we are doing When Loved Right, talking about love, marriage, and ministry. Let's talk about what happens in that process. Then to wrap up the month of February, you don't want to miss this. I'm putting the call out now to writers, poets, spoken word artists. We are having an open mic poetry night, and the theme is Let's Talk About Love. So I'm looking for y'all to hit me up and come on and share a verse, a poem, something. I'm going to be sharing my good poetry. So just to give you a glimpse of what February is going to be like. You don't want to miss it. But tonight has been amazing. Make sure you hit up Dr. Paulette. Find her on all of the platforms, all social media. Whatever you do, guys, go with God. Go be great and be good to one another. Thank you for joining. We love you and have a great night. Hang out with me, sis.
Thank you.
I'ma make the rest of my life like gonna make the rest of my life the best. I'm a congratulations on the celebration. I know don't whip out a need of validation. No congratulations on the celebration. Don't whip out a need of validation. Yeah,
they coming. What Paulette said, God got another chapter for you. They coming.
Yeah.
You ain't with the loser on the floor. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm not getting paid for it. Sermon of the day. You me, that information for me. Important, you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortune me blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a drop pop out like a crosser. Telling the kick rock, skipping the cookie squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots. Ain't gonna stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah, if having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with